fellow Trek Chatters, I'm Pitt Trekkie, and welcome to another episode of Pittsburgh's Trek Chat. First, I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. It's been a couple weeks since I've been able to put out my last episode. Work's been a little bit crazy, and I got sick with that stomach flu that's been going around. But I'm back, I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to get caught up on the second half of Star Trek Discovery's first season. So what I wanted to do for this episode is review the first episode of the second half of the season, episode 10, Despite Yourself. Basically, the synopsis of the episode is this. Stamets jumped them into an unknown area of space. It turns out not only were they in an unknown area of space, but an unknown reality. They were floating in a debris field. Tyler got sent out in a work bee to go and access some data core of the ship, which apparently was Klingon. He had some PTSD symptoms going on at that point, but he did manage to bring back the data core, which they were able to download, which showed that yes, they are actually in the mirror universe with the Terran Empire. So they were able to kind of copy their the aesthetics, their uniforms, their insignias, weapons, things of that nature, and they were able to kind of also rename the Discovery the ISS Discovery on the outside of the hull. So they basically had to adopt the roles of the other Discovery, which is apparently is probably going to be in maybe the current reality where Discovery comes from. Also, we had a few little shocks with some incidents with some of the characters here and there. Got to see some interesting alternate sides of some of the crew, which is interesting. So I just wanted to kind of go over some of the events that happened in this episode, which I thought were really interesting. So some notable moments. Definitely when Lorca was in his office or ready room talking with the senior staff about the alternate realities. I really want to know where exactly he started getting the idea for this to be happening. I don't know if it's really been made clear yet, or if I just don't understand it, but I don't understand exactly where he got all that data. I guess from the jumps with the spore drive. But I'm hoping that they'll talk a little bit about that more as the rest of the season unfolds. There are also rumors going around that he's from the mirror universe, so who knows, that's quite a possibility that he's known all along about these multiple universes. The incident with L'Rell and Tyler. I called this the Total Recall moment. Do you remember in the movie Total Recall, Douglas Quaid was the artificial person that was implanted into Arnold Schwarzenegger? There was another person that he really was who wanted his identity back, and Douglas Quaid kind of fought to be Douglas Quaid. That's kind of what I saw here when L'Rell started talking about that Klingon prayer, and you could tell it looked like Vok was going to come out at that point, but it didn't quite happen. Tyler apparently fought hard enough to stay Tyler at this point, but I'm sure that that's gonna be played out is the way a lot of the fans are seeing it in the next episode. Because the confirmation about it being Vok, everybody thinks it's Vok at this point. So, well, we'll see what happens. Did anybody also notice that when Tyler first came onto the bridge, the Saru's threat ganglia came out? I thought that was very interesting because I don't think that's ever happened before in some of the other episodes. At least I didn't note it. But I noted it in this episode specifically. They came right out in the early part of the episode. Also, Stamets was discussing the palace. So what is this in reference to? Is there a certain palace on a planet somewhere or on Earth where, related to the Terran Empire? Is it a ship or a space station that belongs to the Emperor? So it'll be interesting to see kind of where that goes as well. Adding the Defiant in there I thought was a really good continuity piece. It was nice to have the Tholian Web episode and the In a Mirror Darkly two-parter from Enterprise all brought up in there. But I have to be honest with you, I don't understand the wireframe schematic of the Defiant. It certainly doesn't look like a 23rd century Constitution-class starship. It's got like bent-up engines and these little things connected to the arms of the engines. There are gaps carved into the saucer section. deflector dish looks different. Now, you can easily explain this away and say it's been 100 years. This is probably still the most advanced starship in the area, or pretty close to it, and they've probably added to it over the years to keep it upgraded and going. So I can imagine that there would be some changes. I guess in future episodes we're just going to have to wait and see until we actually see what the Defiant looks like before we start to go, oh my goodness, this looks horrible, or this one looks terrible, you know. I also like Tilly taking command. First of all, I love Cadet Tilly. I think she's a great character. She's got a lot of potential. She's sweet. She's kind of got this little timid kind of feel going on. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Sarah Connor from the Terminator. You know, in the first Terminator, she was this calm, quiet, meek kind of person, but then she becomes this warrior in Terminator 2. And I'm wondering if that's going to happen with Tilly next. Is this the beginning of her Sarah Connor transformation? But she looked really hot in that outfit. I'm married, I understand I'm saying that, but she looked gorgeous. Hot in that outfit. Another thing that I was kind of interested about too was Tyler being sent to the Klingon wreckage. Why do they keep sending the one with the PTSD out on these little missions to get information and things? There are how many hundreds of people that are serving on the Discovery, and Tyler's the one that's constantly going, even though he just came back supposedly from a Klingon ship. And had been tortured for 7 months. So that just doesn't make sense to me. And then even to send him alone. Wouldn't you just have some backup there just in case? I mean, even in some of the earlier episodes, there were the shuttle crews. There were 4 people in the shuttles when they were going on basic missions. So I don't understand why Tyler keeps getting sent out by himself at this point. Then there was the definite surprise about Dr. Culber being killed. It looks like he was nearing a secret with Tyler, and will Stamets save him is basically what I'm wondering. I can't imagine that Dr. Culber is going to stay dead. I think he's too popular of a character already. The relationship interactions between him and Stamets is really strong, and for them to just end that abruptly right now, I can't imagine that actually happening. Who knows what Stamets is turning into? A lot of people are thinking he's kind of becoming like Gary Mitchell was in the original series Where No Man Has Gone Before. Well, the eyes are certainly very similar. We don't know. So we'll have to see. But I would like to think that maybe Stamets will save him in a future episode. Also, Burnham and Tyler taking the next step in their relationship. Where is that going to lead? Are they going to have a consistent romance, or is there going to be something that happens that kind of cuts it and they're separated from each other? They seem to have a pretty good chemistry. It came together really, really quick. Certainly not out of the realm of belief that they would get together that quick even after his trauma. But it'll be interesting to see where that goes. So my questions for the next episode of Discovery, which has already aired, episode 11, which is called The Wolf Inside. But these are my questions that I want to address in that episode review. Will the crew be able to keep up with the ruse? I'm wondering how long it's going to take until finally the Empire discovers that this isn't really their discovery. I mean, eventually it's going to happen. I can't see them going back to Federation space without being caught and people saying, wait a second here, I don't think this was our ship. Something's not adding up. What will lead to Tyler's Klingon reveal? Well, that's already been discussed in episode 11. So in the next episode of Pittsburgh Trek Chat, I'll talk about that. Will they find a Defiant? I definitely can't wait to see the Defiant. There's supposed to be that tie-in piece, so let's wait and see what happens. What is the meaning of the palace? Well, who knows? Like I said earlier, it could be a palace on Earth. It could be a palace somewhere on another planet. The Discovery itself could be a palace, because that Empress Sato had the ship in Enterprise, you know, so, and I'm sure it would be passed down from emperor to emperor to emperor at this point. So who knows? Maybe that's where the Emperor resides. And then also, is Culber really dead? That's what I really want to know. Are we going to have that answer in the next episode or not? So that's it for my episode 10 review, the episode Despite Yourself. Please comment on down below. Let me know what your thoughts are about this episode. Also, you can follow me on YouTube. My channel is Pittsburgh's Trek Chat. You can type that into the search, or you can type in Pit Trekkie. You can also find the show on Facebook. Go to www.facebook.com/PGHTrekChat. You can also find me on Twitter at PGHTrekChat. Looking forward to seeing all of you for the next episode. Hopefully it'll be within the next day or two. And until that episode, may yins live long and prosper.